Hello there. Today we're doing Vacant Gesture. Finally doing Vacant Gesture. Been a long time coming. Had the recipe since Harry put that video. Whenever that was, it's probably years ago by now. I mean, we've been in since the start of the pandemic, near 2 years. So bloody hell. So I must have that recipe. I don't know what. 4 years, is it? Who knows? Need to check it. So yeah, hold on. Where that bloody heat comes on. So yeah, I'm finally doing it then. So it's slightly different to the recipe. I've put in 100 grams of Caramalt, which is Crystal 15. It's about the lightest caramel malt you can get, basically. And then the rest is just the wheat as normal on Morris Otter. The hops though, slightly different. So I'm using Challenger bitter, and I'm using Harlequin hops. I've never used Harlequin hops. God knows I've heard a lot of people talking about them, so I want to see what they're like for myself, because it does sound pretty good. Harlequin, an English hop, supposed to be, I've heard all this before, it's supposed to be this new tropical English hop, and then usually is the kind of reality doesn't equal the marketing. Let's say that. Usually a bit of a letdown. Is Harlequin any different? I don't know. But 225 grams of it, of which about 70 odd grams, something like that. No, it's about 70 gram dry hop and about 30 grams of flame out, something like that. So about 100 grams of Harlequin is going to go into this beer. Do one dry hop, not two, just to get it done quicker, I suppose. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that Harlequin's like. Again, as I say, I'm always a bit dubious about these new fangled hops that they bring out, British hops, because they're never going to be the same. You know, they're styling themselves as if they're an alternative to American or kind of New Zealand hops, and they're not. They really aren't. You could just buy American or New Zealand hops instead. So, but I'm prepared to give them a go. I will absolutely give them a go and see. Okay, so I've just sorted out the hops there. I was kind of doing it on the hoof as we were going along. We've got our Challenger, 19 grams that is, going in 60 minutes. No, it's 20 grams actually. This is a 26 litre boil. We have our Harlequin, that's going in flame out, that's 28 grams. And then a dry hop, I've just went with 50 grams. Don't want to go push it too far on the first attempt, so 50 grams of that. And then finally the yeast, I was looking through the yeast and got one of these. I've used this before a few times. Just, it's kind of fine, it's not really anything outstanding. Kiwi Pale Ale yeast, suitable to brew pale ale with good hop profile, which is what we want. So yeah, we'll be using that. So yeah, as I say, I'll not be going outside with a camera when that wind, because you'll not be able to hear anything. So I'll just show you them now and then I'll see you at the end. Okay, that is it. There's our final beer. Looks like 10:46 here, which is, I think it's a point up on the recipe. The only thing then that went wrong, something always goes wrong, but I forgot to put a proof flock in. So, I mean, if that's the worst thing that could happen on a brew day, then I'm doing pretty well. So, the 20 litres, got quite a bit of boil off today. God, they really do fill them packs, don't they? So again, this is the PIA. You know what I would really like on Brewfather? Is if you could, say I wanted to go back and see any other beers I've used this yeast on, so I could see what the kind of attenuation was and how it performed. That will be good if they could add that into Brewfather. Maybe it exists already and I just don't know about it. But at 15 to 22 degrees centigrade it says, so we'll be doing it sitting at 20 at the minute. I'll probably end up just leaving it at 20 the whole time. So anyway, that is it. Just a dry hop to do, and then I'll be sitting drinking it in front of you. So I'll see you then. So Harlequin hops in. We're here to discover what they're like. I haven't tried them before, to my knowledge. Maybe I have, I don't know, but don't think so. That's what the beer looks like. It's not really about the beer, it's more about the hops, but it's not clear. It's never going to be clear when you don't put a photo log on it. Head is, it's dissipating. It's dissipating. Don't know if it'll dissipate altogether or what, but there is a bit of carbonation in there, as we said, so should stick about maybe. So yeah, beer looks good. I think that's quite nice. That colour's quite nice. So before we start, let's see what Harlequin hops are. Harlequin is an intense hop that boasts big fruit flavours. This is an English hop now, bear in mind. So I'm not sure it's going to be big fruit flavours. Passion fruit, peach and pineapple. Harlequin is the daughter of another a hop called Godiva. And not only has an incredible aroma and big brewing potential, but was also selected for its disease resistance and good yield. I mean, it's all about the disease resistance for me, isn't it? Don't know about you. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Look good. Let's give it a smell. Okay. There is definitely a lot of kind of fruit flavour or fruit aroma off that. Pineapple, getting the pineapple. Maybe a little bit of peach as well. Okay, I'm quite surprised. Again, this is an English hop, of course. You don't normally get this with English hops. Okay, that is good. Now it's not massive like you would get with American hops or anything like that. This big, you know, fist coming out and punching in the face, but it is there, and it is quite. It's definitely there. It reminds me. It almost reminds me of a little bit of, in a way, just a little tiny bit of Styrian Wolf, which is a hop I really like. And it's Slovenian. Oh, got a wee whiff of something else there. Like a woody kind of aroma. Which would kind of be more like the English kind of style. Like Fuggles or something like that. But it is quite, it's quite a lot of fruit on that. Okay, we're going in. This is the taste. Really light body on it. Now this finished out, it ended up 5.2%. So it's a little bit more than the original recipe. But it still has that really light body on it. It's quite cold. It's quite cold in the Keezer because I'm trying to clear lagers. Which, you know, is having, obviously if there's something else in there, it's having an effect on it. Okay. So in terms of the actual beer itself, as I said, really light body on it. There's not really any bitterness on it as well. Very easy to drink. And you could just pour that down your neck. The taste of the hops Again, it's like the aroma, it's there, it's not really intense. I mean, it says on that description something like really bold and intense flavours. I wouldn't say that. But it is kind of, there are kind of fruity flavours in there. The predominant thing that I'm tasting is a kind of earthy flavour. Real earthiness, but there is that kind of, there definitely is that pineapple and peach taste in the background, so it's kind of the same as the aroma, but there is definitely, but it's kind of switched around, and the aroma, the woody, wasn't it? That's what we called it, the woody flavour, the woody aroma was at the end. So when it's at the start, you know it's the strongest, and then if it's at the end, it's kind of the weakest. But it's almost turned around for the flavour, in that kind of woody, earthy type of flavour is the main thing, and in behind there's the fruit flavour. That is a nice beer. That is a nice beer. I have to say I do like that hop. I do like that hop. As I said before, it's definitely not as intense as like American or New Zealand. Any of those type of hops, they're completely different. But this is definitely the best one that I've tasted of all that new batch. And I've had a few different ones. That is definitely the most fruity. But it still is kind of hanging on to that earthy English kind of flavour. Which in terms of this beer is actually not a bad thing at all. So yeah, I'm impressed. I am impressed with those hops. I'm not really sure what I was expecting, because if I'm being honest, I wasn't really expecting an awful lot, because every time a new English hop comes out, they always come out with a whole, this is, you know, this is it, this is the one, this is the one. It's never the one, it's never the one. But that is as close as it's got to being the one. Definite fruit flavours, definitely right about the peach and the pineapple in there. The aroma is pretty strong, the taste is pretty strong. Yeah, that's decent, that is decent. So we'll see how that keg goes on, but based on that, that is quite good. I would like to taste it on something else. Maybe, I was going to say a bitter, but I mean, you wouldn't really want that, or would you? I've got a plan for a bitter that's coming up, so I don't think I'm going to use those hops, but you know what, I'm just starting to waffle. So that's it. That is the end of the glass. And that's how I know it's time to go. So, Harlequin hops, yes please. They are pretty decent. They're not quite the full shilling when it comes to, if you put them up against American hops or anywhere else. But on their own, as that is proved, that is decent. That is very decent. So, yeah, cheers. See you next week.